Welcome to the Deep Dive Books channel, where we hope you find something valuable every day.
Let's continue discussing Scott Adams, Reframe Your Brain. Facts are facts, but you can actively choose how to interpret and define them to make yourself happier, more positive, and more efficient. Today, we'll focus on how to handle daily life and work. What really tests us isn't major crises but the daily grind. So how can we program our brains to better handle, or even brighten, these mundane tasks? I've summarized Scott's approach into 3 levels of reframing. Each level gives you more freedom. Then we'll talk about some practical applications. The first level is realizing that your emotions are a choice. Instead of thinking my feelings are the result of my circumstances, think of them as my own choice. For example, if you're treated unfairly, the natural reaction is anger, maybe even hatred. Sometimes these emotions are useful as they fuel your fight to correct a wrong. But if you're angry or hateful about things, unrelated to you or out of your control, then you should choose not to have these emotions. The method is a reframe. Instead of seeing anger and hatred as hating those people, see it as punishing yourself for their mistakes. Often, you feel angry because of what others say to you. Judging, criticizing, or even insulting you. How to deal with these situations? Here's a key insight. What people say about you reflects them more than it does you. Instead of thinking they are talking about you, realize they are talking about themselves through you. Many times, people just use you as a stage to express their emotions, positions, or to build their image. Recognize this. Instead of thinking everyone is thinking about you, realize you are just a supporting character in their movie. Understanding this can lighten your load. The best response to baseless insults is to ignore them. They're just adding drama for themselves. In your own movie, you're the star. Meaning you can more positively rewrite it. This leads to the second level of reframing, the reframe of reality. Instead of thinking reality is what you see and feel, imagine everything around you as virtual objects. This means you can erase trivial matters from your reality and not think about them at all. The biggest influence on our daily happiness is anxiety and worry, but Stoicism teaches us to only care about what we can control and do it well. Worrying about uncontrollable things is useless. Adams suggests using a cosmic perspective, viewing the thing you're worried about in the context of your entire life, and you might find it's not worth worrying about. Another reframe is that positive and negative thoughts occupy the same shelf space. If you want fewer negative thoughts, fill that space with positive ones. For example, you could engage in an activity that requires intense focus. Adams chooses drumming. When drumming, your hands, eyes, and brain need to fully coordinate, leaving no room for other thoughts. You become completely immersed in the present moment, which feels great. The third level goes further. Your feelings and thoughts can be completely ignored. Humans constantly generate all kinds of thoughts, good, bad, even evil ones. Too many bad thoughts are indeed not good, but no need to be anxious. Instead of thinking I am my thoughts, realize I am defined by what I do. This gives you control, freeing you from being a slave to your thoughts or overly respecting them. Instead of finding yourself, be the author of yourself. With this level of proactivity, we can perform the following operations. The first operation is to add some dopamine to your life. Daily chores are boring, but dopamine provides the motivation to get things done. One way is to reframe tasks into games. Gamification was a buzzword a few years ago. Watching movies, drinking coffee, everything had points, creating unnecessary tension, now criticized by scholars. But if you treat gamification with a playful attitude, life can be more fun. For example, household chores. Adams developed the optimal way to fold towels and designed the best route for doing chores. Instead of doing chores, you're in a sports competition. Doesn't that give you motivation? If you're in school and doing well, going to school can be fun because you can reframe exams as competitions. Silently pick a classmate and compete with them. Adams draws a comic every day. This task's benefit is, it always has a beginning and a delivery. Delivery brings a sense of accomplishment, which brings dopamine, which brings new motivation. If you can break work into a series of tasks, checking off each small task on a list gives you dopamine. For enough dopamine, there's a life hack. You can pretend to complete tasks. Scott goes to the gym every noon. But about 5 times a year, he feels too tired to work out. Yet, he still changes into workout clothes, drives to the gym, and then goes home without exercising. This time, he didn't work out but respected his workout system, so he still got some dopamine. This is making every effort to follow the brain's programming. Another programming method, simpler and more effective than exercising, is to be an honest and reliable person. Make your family, friends, and colleagues trust you completely, believe you'll always do the right thing. Adams says this gives you a rare superpower, an unparalleled resource. It means whenever you ask for help, people will gladly assist. Being an honest, reliable person isn't hard. Just do what you say, show up when needed, and do what needs to be done. If you have enough dopamine, you're motivated for everything, and luck won't be far. Even if you face continuous setbacks, you can say, the universe owes me some luck, instead of, the universe is against me. The second operation is using embarrassment to dissolve the ego. The ego is the self that distinguishes you from the outside world, the self you want to maintain your image. The tech industry has increasingly recognized in recent years. Ego is your enemy. There are books written on this subject. Scott has a metaphor that explains it well. Imagine I have a priceless artwork and ask you to take it across the street. You'd be extremely careful, worried about dropping, breaking, or losing it, causing great anxiety. But if I give you a potato to take across the street, you'd do it easily, without any anxiety. Scott says, don't let your ego be the artwork, make it the potato. Much of your anxiety, worrying about making mistakes or what others say about you, is to maintain your ego. It's unnecessary. Doing great things should be egoless. How to dissolve the ego? Create embarrassing situations. Embarrassment usually means making mistakes in front of others. People think making mistakes is embarrassing, but often it's your fear of embarrassment that makes you make mistakes. Because you want to maintain your ego, you fear embarrassment and can't relax and do things easily. The best way to become immune to embarrassment is to create it actively. The best time to create embarrassment is when you're bored. If you're bored, Adam suggests doing something you're not good at in front of others. For example, if you're single, approach someone who seems out of your league. If it works, you gain love or improve your communication skills. If it fails, you gain an embarrassment. Either way, you won't be bored, and your dopamine levels will rise. These embarrassing moments become valuable resources for self-deprecation, winning goodwill and support. If I want to be an amateur stand-up comedian, I need a lot of embarrassing moments. Comedians write their own material, drawing from life, and embarrassing moments are the best material. The third operation is energy management. Use dopamine where it matters most. We usually talk about time management, making a schedule to ensure time is spent on important tasks, like setting hours for work and limiting phone use. Time management can make you feel passive and restricted. A more advanced method is task management, listing tasks to be completed each day, checking them off for a dopamine reward. Task management is flexible but not the most efficient. Adams proposes energy management. He observed that people have different energy levels, at different times of the day. Sometimes you're full of energy, suitable for creative work. Other times you're relaxed, suitable for social activities. Sometimes you should exercise, sometimes rest. Everyone's energy distribution is different. Adam's main work time is from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. his peak brainpower time. He starts drawing comics as soon as he gets up, then drinks coffee and writes. Matching energy with activities is crucial. Adams says to facilitate energy management, you should find a job with flexible hours, or if possible, choose a life partner who allows you free time. Energy is related not only to time but also to the environment. Adams found that being alone at home isn't the best environment for writing, you get distracted. The best writing environment is a place where you can actively ignore the people around you, like a cafe or diner. The background noise of strangers allows you to focus on writing. Studies have confirmed this. Instead of thinking you can't write, realize you're not writing in the right environment. So, if you can't write, change your environment. If necessary, go on a trip, find a scenic spot to write, but find the right feeling to write. These operations share a common theme. Being proactive. Life is often mundane, but you can always choose to make each moment exciting. Instead of wishing you daily gains, realize this is your active choice. That's it for today's content. In the next part, we'll discuss social tips.
If you feel there is value in this, please like, subscribe to this channel, and leave your thoughts or suggestions in the comments section. Let's grow together and read more good books.